Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Technically Speaking Live. It is 8 p.m. on the East Coast. I am now in my kingly robe, and we'll talk about that here in a second because you all know me as Lord Peachy. And I guess I'm not a king, I'm a lord. So this lordish-ish royalty type, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Dark Lord, right? Maybe I just throw this over my head. Yes, let the hate flow through you. Yes. Anyway. Oh, welcome to the very last show of 2020. 2020 can kick a can. Also, one thing real quick I need to mention. The following program contains adult language. Viewer discretion is advised. It's probably going to be a spicy one today. I have turned off monetization mostly because I want to do the following. And so as I'm talking, I'm going to pull this up and go... this was like my jam show. We're going to talk a little bit about probably a recap prediction type show going on. Quitting YouTube, which I got to be honest with you, that happens more often than you would think. I think about that thought quite frequently. Going to probably talk about food again. We all know that I love that mayo spaghetto. New year, new me. Stop it. Stop it. And I'm going to tell you why you need to stop that whole new year, new me. Quit it. You stop it right now, because if you wait for January 1st to be a new me, you're still the same terrible you were 3 hours ago. So quit it. Probably going to recap some of the stories, worst hacks of 2020, controversial apps, biggest smartphone fails of 2020, Surface Duo. Just going to throw it out there. But I cannot go anywhere until I bring in the person, the man, the myth, the legend, who is in quarantine, not because he has a COVID, but because he went to the second most contagious state, the first being Ohio. And I'm going to welcome him back from Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis. My man, Stats, how are you, my friend?
Good evening, Dark Lord Peachy. How are thee?
Evil.
Well, that's pretty normal for you on any given day.
I have already played Starship. So there's that.
I heard.
I mean, we're 5 minutes deep and I've already got one song. I am taking requests.
So uplifting.
It is. We built the city on rock and roll. So, Stats, how was your Christmas?
There's worse things you can build a city on. Like Memphis, it's built on top of a underground aquifer.
How was your Christmas?
So we'll see.
You stop. That's why it's got the best water. How was your Christmas?
It is. It was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with the parents, masked up, which sucks when you're inside a house, but got some good projects done. Watched watched both entire seasons of The Mandalorian with my parents. They wanted to see it, and I didn't mind watching it again.
Okay, that's fair.
Built a table for a friend of my mother's.
Okay.
So that was fun with my old man, and then got to watch my niece open approximately 327 presents on Christmas morning.
That's the best, though. That's what it's supposed to be, man. The kids opening presents. That's the way it's supposed to be.
I 100% agree. But there were 5 adults there. She had more presents than all 5 of us put together.
No, there's no question. That's the way it should be. You spoil that girl. You spoil her. She deserves it. So hopefully you had a wonderful Christmas. I'm happy to have you back in Central Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Excited about what is happening January 1st. Go Bucks. Let's just leave it there. We're not going to talk about it.
Go Buckeyes.
We're just going to say go Buckeyes, and we're going to leave it at that. Pretty excited about that game. Let's head to the comments real quick, see who we have out there. Darren, I actually had an opportunity. I was incredibly lucky, had a wonderful opportunity to record a podcast this morning with Darren Kaplan, who is actually in the comments. So Darren, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to record the podcast earlier this morning. So obviously the grind still happens here, even though I'm not working this weekend, I'm still working. So I guess there's that. Digital Slang, what up? Mike Stroll, hello. Miss Sheila, Happy New Year to you as well. Mark Peachy, well, hello there, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gigi, Cammy, don't worry about it. It's all good. You don't have to worry about the invite. I know I'm going to be on your show at some point. Whenever you remember, lowly me, just me, my lowly self, I will definitely be on the show. Mannequin was a terrible movie. It was an awful movie. Stop it. I swear to God, Jeff, Digital Slang is just trying to get me. Every time he's like, Pixel sucks and Mannequin was great. You know what else was great? Howard the Duck. That was an awful movie too. That's bad and you should feel bad about it.
He did make an appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so
he did. It's because he's a Marvel character. I can't believe it. It's so ridiculous. Retether Tech. Hello, Miss Sheila. He is executive producing in his best way possible. I got to give him a lot of credit. He put together a great bit of show notes that I'm not paying any attention to. None.
It's okay.
But
I can feel good about my process.
Your process is great. Like you've given us a lot. There's one, the Boston Dynamics one. We're going to come back to that. Mannequin is not better than a Pixel.
You'd like that one.
Jeff, stop it. Bro, quit it.
Spicy hot takes at the end of 2020.
Okay, hang on. Jeff, let's hear it. Here we go. You gotta lay it out. Come on, Jeff. I will give you an invite to come into the show. I got the words on the screen right now. I want everybody to see the lyrics on the screen. Stats. Are you ready?
You're gonna have to zoom in.
Ready?
Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that
awful lyrics. It's about a mannequin. God, I can't even. Although the song is very catchy. I will give you that. The song is incredibly catchy. Oh, Lord, and have mercy. Sketch doesn't care what you care about it. It's right. It is right. So, all right, let's talk about this thing. I watched Travis MCP's video from either yesterday or the day before. Great. God. I'm sorry. Jeff hit me in the comments again. The greatest movie of the 80s. Now I know you're just messing with me. Now I know you're just trying to get me. You, sir, I'm not going to do it. You know what? Not going to do it. That's a spicy hot take.
Should I put him in timeout?
Don't put him in timeout. No, don't do it. Anyway, so quitting YouTube. I don't know if Zach is in here. Zach was going to pop in, and he's going to talk a lot about it on his live show as well, which is tomorrow. Talked about this concept of quitting YouTube, and I took a screenshot of a conversation that Shannon was. I think it was Shannon and Vipe. I can't remember exactly what it was, but let me go talk about this. So as I'm pulling this up in these screenshots that I've taken. So it was Shannon. I thought it was. So it was Shannon, which is at Snub. She's been on the show. Wonderful creator. And Vipe, another guy, wonderful creator. Travis MCP's video talked about the lows of being a YouTuber or a content creator. And I really believe it can be, if you think about Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat or you name it, it kind of applies in some of those instances. So Vipe actually comes to, and so what does it mean to be a YouTuber? You're a videographer, an editor, marketing, merchandising, promoting, graphic design, collaboration, and content creator. Did he miss anything? And Shannon comes in. Yeah, you did. It was lighting design, interior design, decor, audio engineer, hair and makeup, especially, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of time, but it still does take time.
So much makeup.
Educator, researcher, writer, educator, I already said that. Educator, research, writer, website design, coding, social media marketing, accountant, camera ops, and producer. Look, it's not easy being a content creator. Whether you're making a podcast or you're making a weird live show like this, it's not easy. And there are many times during each and every single month, I think about quitting. And it's not because of the desire. It's just a lot of work. It is a tremendous amount of work. Like putting together, like I specifically bought the shiplap behind me with the intent of this being my YouTube wall. The light that I have over here was bought because it was for YouTube. All the audio, the camera equipment. I didn't buy the camera. I mean, if let's be real here, I'm not going to sugarcoat the next thing I'm going to say is any content creator can tell you, I'm buying this really expensive camera because I'm going to take pictures of my wife and my spouse and kids. That is not the primary reason. I'll bet for the majority of people. The majority of people probably buy that specifically with content creation in mind. Tech King Mike, I'm going to say this because I see you in the chat. I'm going to say this. When I talk about quitting YouTube, you, sir, are one of the people I can count on one hand that has made me not want to quit YouTube. And I'm going to talk about that, but I have it in the show notes, and stats can back me up on this. I have legitimately, honestly, Mike has been one of the reasons that I have kept going because I believe in what he has done so much. Stats validate that.
Absolutely.
That's what I have written in the show notes.
Yeah. Mike has put together a product, well, 2 lines of products, a straightforward kind of review expertise line, but then he's put together and wrangled a very disparate yet informed and equally funny group of people who show up and scream at each other for a couple of hours, a couple of nights a month. And I'm going to throw a link to his channel right now in the chat. And
this is
because he made an announcement, a week ago, week and a half ago.
Yep. There's going to be a
pretty important announcement.
Yeah. There's going to be a tech fight going back to the original, back to brass tacks. But yeah, Mike is one of the single reasons that I have kept going is because, it's a hard grind. And so a lot of times people ask, like, why do you always think about quitting at the beginning of the year? It is really difficult, in the business, in the line of business that I'm in, where it's a situation where, a lot of consumer electronics, very much the fourth quarter is like the money quarter, right? Everybody who's in consumer electronics or YouTube, when they do this, they know that the fourth quarter is the one where affiliate links are getting clicked, you're making money, hand over fist relative, right? It's not as hand over fist and lucrative as you think, but that also comes at a price. And then in January, when January hits, sometimes, like I did the math earlier, imagine working your tail off for the fourth quarter, like literally the whole entire fourth quarter, where you're constantly putting out content, working at 160% capacity, which is a big shout out to Adam over at Tech Odyssey. He talked to me, him and I talk a lot. He said he was working at like 160% capacity for the entire fourth quarter. And it basically hit a wall, and he was like, I just cannot continue to keep doing this. Imagine working like that, and then January hits and the revenue goes 50% of whatever you made in the previous month. 50%. So all the work that you had done, let's say that you were making $4 or $5 an hour or whatever it was making the videos that you do, then gets halved down to a couple bucks an hour. It's really hard and demoralizing. It goes over and over and over. And everybody talks about keep grinding. You have all of these different analysis paralysis that comes out. Well, you have to niche down. Do you though? Do you have to niche down? Like there's a couple examples out there where you talk about niching down to say, I'm only going to do Apple, or I'm only going to do Pixel, or I'm only going to do this. Niching down is not necessarily the answer either. And then I also see some tweets that talk about, well, you don't want to base your worth or anything off that of your sub count. Well, I mean, that's great too, but let's talk about the business side of things, right? That sub count might actually be really important to brands that you're trying to work with. There is one particular brand, I'm not going to name them, and I would love to work with them. This one particular brand's really good about certain things that go on your phone that's not a case. Pretty obvious who I'm probably talking about. Most of the time, they're not going to touch anybody. They're not going to touch anybody unless you got 100,000 subs. That's just the truth. Like, I remember when I was probably around 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers, and I reached out to, and I had just had like a gangbusters month where I was doing really well in terms of viewership, right? I was doing really well in terms of getting the views, not subscribers, but the views. And I reached out to a company and they're like, you only have 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. I need somebody that's got 50,000. Even though I could very well have been a place that was getting more views than a 50 or 60,000 sub channel. Nope, didn't matter. They had to have the 50 to 60,000. So here's a perfect example. Dan, what he just said. Dan just said, I'm going to pull it up really quick. I niched down on audio and it drained the fun out of it in the end. And that is exactly what I'm talking about, is the idea of, man, the niching down just sucks the life out of everything. And I'm going to talk about it, but thanks so much, Mr. Michael Daniels. Nothing but love for you, brother. I cannot wait until we can meet again when this whole COVID crap gets out of the way and we can go. It is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait until we do that. Digital Slang, I will never niche down. From the subs point of view, I don't want you guys to niche down. Do what you love. And that's exactly what it's for. But man, sometimes doing that what you love, you just get beat about the head constantly. People aren't viewing things the way that they should. You put a lot of effort into this content. Again, all of those things that I mentioned before, producing, editing, scripting, lighting, writing, then editing it all out, then publishing it. Then you have to work on the thumbnail. Then you got to work on SEO. And then you got to work on the writing, the description, and all that other jazz. That takes time. It is really, really difficult. Jason from Tuna Tech, it's discouraging. I focus my worth on subs, and I know you shouldn't. You definitely shouldn't focus on subs. The sub part is a really dangerous number. The part that I would focus on the most is the percentage of change of views per month and the views per video specific to certain niches. So keep that in mind. Like, I know that my pixel content's going to have like a pretty crazy spike and then it's going to go right back down. But I also know that headphone content is kind of evergreen and it just kind of grows and grows and grows, but it does not grow at a really fast rate. It just doesn't. Dan, I wish I was coming to Vegas too. Trust me, we will get there, my friend. I fully intend to be there at some point. Man, that was a rant.
It's okay. It's your show. Do what you want.
It's one of those things where you talk about it constantly. It's like, this takes so much work and you have no idea if you're actually helping individuals. You have no idea. I mean, you get 96%.
Unless they actually give you a thumbs up, give you a follow, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe.
You don't know any of that stuff. YouTube is a big machine. I saw it the other day. Somebody said, hey, I took 2 weeks off and I'm paying for it because the algorithm is crushing me. That's a fact. So you take 2 weeks off, which is what I just did. I took 2 weeks off, not even a full 2 weeks, not even a full 2 weeks. Because I did a live show, I think the week before Christmas, right? Didn't we do that one?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even like, this would have been the second week. I wasn't going to do a live show, but then I realized, well, one, I missed it. So there's that particular bit that I want to get into there too, is like missing it, right? I missed interacting with this group of people. I don't care if I have 5 people in the chat or if I have 500 people in the chat. Each and every one of the individuals that have commented here, I have talked to outside of this. And so the community that we're growing is really where it is for me. And that's what I missed about the live shows, was growing the community. And that's where I'm starting to grow the community with some of the content that I'm making. Now, some would say that by me, so hang on, Digital Sling, taking 3 to 4 days off, the algorithm hates you already. Facts. Absolute facts. I have the data that speaks to that. You can go back in 2020 and look when I was posting one video every 2 weeks versus what I was doing in the very, very end. And it's way different. It is, the algorithm loves me so much more in late third quarter, fourth quarter. Some of that is due to it being consumer tech. Third and fourth quarters where all the money makers are. Tons of ads being served on there because people want to buy the stuff. Jim Lynch, no, I am not quitting live shows. Definitely not. If anything, this is the thing that will continue out of all of the content that I do. I'm also not quitting creating videos either. This is a very real thing, and it's not just a phenomenon. It's not just a phenomenon of this. It's a phenomenon of 2020 it really sucked. 2019 wasn't a banger either. 2020 really sucked, and it's really grinding on individuals from a mental perspective. So my whole big reason why I'm going on this big tirade, yes, you're right. I do love to hear myself talk way too much. Check on people to make sure that they're okay. Check on your favorite creators. Yeah, I know it might be weird. You reaching out to maybe somebody like MKBHD and being like, hey man, are you good? You have no idea how important that. Now I will stop right there, sir. Jeff, you quit it. You quit it. Dan, go carry Adam. If you would be so kind, please make sure you can take care of him, because we know that you definitely carry him. Check on the individuals that you have out there. Make sure they're okay. I promise you that regardless of the size of the creator, if you're checking on them and like, hey, just watch, even leave a comment on their video. Love this video. Something like that. I promise you, read every comment. Read every comment. I try to respond to as many comments as I can. El Jefe is a perfect example. That man answered like 50,000 comments last year. 50,000 comments. 50,000 individual comments. That is a lot. That is a tough job in and of itself. Holy crap, Jim Lynch. Wow. Holy crap, man. Wow. Thank you. I don't even know what to say. That is incredible. Wow. I don't usually get a loss for words because, like Andrew says, I like to hear myself talk. I don't know what to say to that. I really appreciate that. Wow. Yeah. It's, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's like, and it's not, again, that is fantastic. And I love that. And thank you so much. You have no idea. Like, Stats and I'll be chatting after show about this. So, oh my gosh, Jim, thank you so much. But the comments matter, and responding, like, we want to respond to you, like, as content creators as well. That's where we go. We love this stuff, and we want to check on you as much as you check on us. We're human at the end of the day, right? That's where we are, and that's where we want to be, to help you and help all of us. And we're going to get this. This deserves a dim the lights moment. Okay, there you go. Here we go. Super chats. Shout out to Jim Lynch for the super chat. Yeah. Got a super chat. Ooh, yeah. No, Stats wasn't having that one. That one was a little off kilter.
No, I'm here giggling in the background.
But this is what it's all about. This is why we do some of the things that we do. This is the community by which we want to build, and this is the thing. At the end of the day, when I was on Darren's podcast earlier, we talked. It was a data podcast. I work in data. That's what I do. We didn't talk about data.
Wait, you work in data?
I work in data. I play with the numbers all day long. It was a great conversation, and I made an immediate friend. Darren and I actually talked about, like, clearly we were separated at birth because we held a lot of the same ideals as it comes to empathizing and relating to individuals. Because at the end of the day, that's what we are. We are a group of humans just trying to make our way through a crazy world. And like I said, 2020, hot trash. It was bad. And we're going to get through this together.
Very.
Hot trash. But I had mentioned this before.
Right.
What? Go for it.
No, go ahead.
No, make me stop talking. Keep going.
Oh, well, I was just going to segue to our next topic, which was, or is, the biggest tech stories of the year. We'd like to hear from people in the comments about whether or not they agree with some of these. We've got some of the worst hacks of 2020. We've got something about controversial apps from 2020. I'm not sure I agree with any of those.
Yeah.
I think this one will get a lot of traction in the chat. The smartphone fails. So
To answer Tuna Tech, your question, it's data. It's not data. It's not that. It's data. Data.
Dada is a style of art. So Dadaism.
Well, that's DADA though, right? Yeah, he's talking about DATA. Data. No, it's data. It's data. But I digress. The biggest smartphone fails of 2020, according to this. Now, according to this comes to us from Android Authority. They said the curious case of the Nokia 8.3 in March, which was a overwhelmingly delayed device and overpriced device. Top 10 most activated phones on Christmas. Strange. No pixels. Is that true? Are you just trying to get me?
I heard. No, I saw something today that Apple took the top 9, and I didn't look what the number 10 phone.
Jesus, the top 9?
Yeah.
What was number 10?
I don't know.
It had better have been the FE. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, like the Samsung FE Fan Edition, Samsung has a banger of a phone right there. That is the phone that could dominate that $600 to $700 price point, much like the Pixels are dominating that $350 to $400 price point. I can see the low-end Pixels to then the Samsung and then to the iPhones. God, is that true?
Do you want to play a guessing game?
Or let's do it. I'm going to say the iPhone. Right, okay. Go.
I'll give you all the iPhones.
Give me all the iPhones and I'll rank them.
I'll give you 3 guesses on the one non-iPhone. So, iPhone 11.
Digital Slang just said it was the Motorola. It was a Motorola, $150 phone. That's weak.
So iPhone 11, iPhone 10R,
okay,
12 Pro Max, 12,
okay,
11 Pro Max,
okay,
iPhone SE, 12 Pro, and then it drops all the way to the 8 Plus.
Okay,
the 8,
the XR was number 1,
history
right?
Phone.
Okay, hang on. XR was number 1.
No, 10R was number 2. The 11 was number 1.
Oh, you gave me them in rank order.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought I was supposed to guess.
No, you're guessing the non-iPhone one.
Oh, he just said it was Motorola.
Well,
I'm gonna guess it was Motorola.
Hang on.
Executive producing.
Yeah, well.
My sister texted me like, "No, I am not wearing a turtleneck. I am wearing a hooded smoker's jacket." I think it's a smoker's jacket. It's a something.
I don't. According to the list I'm looking at, it's not a Motorola.
All right, it's not a Motorola. So anyway, top 9 iPhones. That's incredible. If you don't think iPhone has power, my goodness, some $150 phone. He said.
Share.
Oh no! The thing is like, and those phones, you cannot go wrong buying an iPhone. Look, I am Team Pixel. I drive a Pixel every day. That is my go-to phone, and I would challenge anybody, if you could put a Pixel in your hand, you're gonna love it. Unless your name's Scotty Boombox, who then can't figure out how to turn off iMessage, and now can't text me because he's an idiot and doesn't know how to turn off iMessage. Even though I said on the live show, turn off iMessage before you do anything. Anyway, I digress.
You did.
I did. I would say if you put a Pixel in your hand, man, it's such a great experience. But if you are in the Apple ecosystem, you can't go wrong either. You're not missing anything by being in either of the ecosystems. You get fantastic video in the iPhone. I mean, fantastic video, right? It was far and away the winner. But now the gap is closing on the video when it comes to the Pixels, in my opinion. Still looks much better on the iPhone. It is what it is. Point and shoot, swim Pixel all day long. Portrait mode, Pixel all day long. I have trust issues with everybody else not named Pixel when I'm shooting in a portrait mode. That's just the truth. But anyway, let's go to the biggest busts of 2020. They said the Nokia phone, honestly, doesn't surprise me. We're not talking about Nokia. Probably a good reason why it was a bust. The Surface Duo, the Escobar Fold 2, the Motorola Razr, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20, and I'm going to talk about that one in a second, and then the Motorola Edge Plus, and then everything in OnePlus. Look, I was disappointed in OnePlus this year. I have a OnePlus device right here. This is the OnePlus 8T. Does it have a lot of hardware? Yeah, it does. It has a lot of hardware. You can game on this thing. It's fantastic. They didn't blow me away this year. And normally it's like they make this huge splash. The Nord is not in the United States. If it is, you have to basically get it in from somewhere else. OnePlus was just kind of meh in 2020. They I don't know if they stepped backwards, but they didn't step to the forefront, right? They allowed some other Android devices to slip in there to be better than OnePlus. And that one could be the Samsung FE, that Samsung S20 FE, the fan edition. What a unbelievable phone for $700. Like, they're the big manufacturers out there. Samsung, Poco phones, Pixels, Huawei, Xiaomi, all of these other phones, they are stepping up. The two at the price point of $600 to $700 for me, Samsung Fan Edition, Pixel 5. Those are the two I'm recommending. OnePlus is a distant third.
Yeah, and I think of all the phones on this list, the one that was probably hyped the most, or the most was expected out of it, was the Samsung Galaxy Note 20, just because it has traditionally been a flagship.
And you know why they flopped? Do you know why that one flopped? Samsung screwed this one up.
$1,200 or something.
It was $1,000. It was $1,000 plastic phone, and they did it because they wanted to make the Note 20 Ultra look completely amazing. Right? That's the reason they did it. They put $1,000 plastic phone next to a very premium edition Note 20 Ultra. No question. Very premium. 8K recording, tons of bells and whistles onto it, stylus support, you name it's got it all. And it was $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, right? That's how much that thing was. So justifying that price, they put $1,000 Note 20 plastic phone for $1,000.
Right.
Miss.
Well, and you,
especially with the fan edition,
you didn't get anything extra for that, because it originally launched at $1,300 and it finally settled at about $1,000. But you didn't get anything extra for that extra money, and you got a phone that wasn't as well built.
Right, and they undercut themselves with the FE. They gave you everything that you can get in the Note 20, the $1,000 phone. They gave you everything that you can get in a $700 phone. Literally everything. There's nothing, you're missing nothing at all in comparison to the Note 20, the plastic edition, not the Ultra, the Note 20 versus the FE. Why would you buy anything else other than the FE if you're a Samsung fan? The answer is you wouldn't. And Samsung saw that. And it was a total swing and a miss. The other swing and a miss, the Surface Duo. And you know me, I put out a video. It was one of my more popular ones that talked about Microsoft. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't walk away from this. Don't walk away from it. The people who have a Surface Duo love it. Swear by it. People use it as daily drivers, even though I wouldn't. The idea is like, look, you, for the first time in a long time, you have a device that aesthetically is so pleasing. It is razor thin, super pocketable, has the ability to be something very special. The hinge technology is incredible. Hardware-wise, you have it. You just now need to make it really have a chance. I can tell you right now that if the Duo has a bigger leap than the change from the Fold Generation 1 to the Z Fold 2 in Samsung, like the difference in Gen 1 and Gen 2 of the Fold series from Samsung is tremendous. If the Duo can do something like that, or that and then some, that thing is going to sell like crazy. It really, really will.
Well, and I think what the author of this article pointed out, they're going to have to upgrade to the most modern features that everybody else is looking for, because when this phone launched, it didn't have any capability to get to 5G. It had no NFC, no fast charging,
no
no
wireless
wireless
charging.
charging.
Well, and see, like the
And I mean,
5G,
agree, but
I could take or leave the
that's
5G.
where mobile technology is going.
Yeah.
Whenever they come out with the Duo 2, if it's not in 2021, it better have 5G if it's coming out in 22, because that's where mobile technology is going. But everything else, that's a baseline. You have to have that to compete in today's mobile market.
The idea is like they were really pushing this thing as kind of like the end all be all, one thing you have to have in your pocket. NFC, like the ability to pay for things with your phone, is table stakes. Fast charging, table stakes. Wireless charging, some would argue table stakes. If you give me fast charging, I'm more on the fence with the wireless charging than I am fast charging. Fast charging, no question, you have to have it. You got to have at least an 840-ish type processor, 845. I'm not even saying the 888. It would make sense if you're going to launch it in 2022. You got to have the 888. That's what at that point it would be 1 year older. You have to have some of these things, and your camera cannot be trash. You just can't. You cannot have a trash camera, especially if you're going to say this is something that people should have when they're doing conference calls. You cannot have a trash camera on something where I could go get a trash camera on any other laptop. You've got to give me something better than that. You have to.
Right.
And you got to have a camera on the outside. The whole inside thing, there's a lot of things I'd like to see a few other features on the outside of the Duo, just protected by some sort of glass or something on the back so you can get some notifications and things like that. That's just personal preference.
Oh, with all of the real estate they have, and yes, I understand they have to double up on all of the hardware for screens and things like that.
Sure.
But you still should be able to fit somewhere in there a rear camera that has a zoom and has a good focal point.
There you go. Jeff said it best. For $1,500, you got to have everything. You got to have flagship specs. For $1,500, I'll give you one, maybe two things that it doesn't have that the Fold 3 would have. Like, you get the ability, because the Fold 3 is probably going to be $2,000. For $1,500, I'm going to allow you one or two things that you don't have that the Samsung would have that would justify a $500 price difference. You get one or two things, and they better not be major. Major being like processor or internal storage or something like that. You gotta be on par with something that's going to be like that to be a player in that space. There's a reason why Google changed the way they were doing things. Google's not $1,000 device. Pixel 5 was not $1,000 device. It was $700. The Pixel 4 Pixel 4 XL was over $1,000 when I bought it. Like, it just was. And they're not playing in that space anymore. Right or wrong, they're not playing in that space. The higher you go up the chain, the more you got to have. You got to come correct when you're doing those things. You just have to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I put my stuff. Hang on a second. Just totally off the side of my head real quick. New year, new me. I hate that saying. I despise the saying. So look, I'm going to ask, could we just stop with the whole new year, new me, January 1, I'm changing everything. Look, I got to be honest with you. If you were a junk food eating fiend on December 31st, going cold turkey on January 1st is really not going to set yourself up for success. So why don't we be a little realistic with what we're trying to do? December 31st, you stuff your gullet full of food and you're like, January 1, I'm going to make changes in my diet to be better. That's fantastic. Other than going, I'm going to go and eat all the things on the 31st, including every single pie you can think of. And then I'm going to go cold turkey and only eat salads on January 30 or January 1st. You are not setting yourself up for success if you do that. So here's what I would like you to do. Sit down and go, new year, new me, but I'm going to set realistic expectations for myself. I'm not going to go cold turkey January 1st. If you do, January 8th, you're eating a whole pizza, because that's just what's going to happen. So start to make gradual changes in yourself. So not new year, new me. Say, I'm going to change my habits gradually over time to make them sustainable for the duration of 2021, because you're still the same terrible person that you were January 1st as you were the last couple of weeks of December. I assure you of that.
So yes,
This kind of ties into what something that was you mentioned at the very, very bottom part of the show notes, sir. Yeah. This did not. By the way, this did not spurn because of that.
That's fine. That's fine.
Ivy Mac, he's right. New year, new me last 1.47 days. Exactly.
So I agree with you on principle. It's just going to be the details. So I've been toying around with the idea of doing a dry January for about a month now.
Sure.
And I feel that is an attainable goal because I'm trying to think of how we do this at work. You state the goal, you create an action plan, but
it's smart. It's called smart. It's like specific, measurable, actionable, something.
Timely, but I'm considering doing a dry January. Now the Buckeyes are kind of screwing with me because they're playing on both January 1st and then hopefully again on the 10th or the 11th. And I traditionally drink beer when the Buckeyes are playing, but we shall see. But again, I think that type of goal for me personally and my personality works because it has an end date.
Yeah.
It's
makes
like
sense.
how people train. It's like how people train for a marathon. The 6 months prior to the marathon is going to suck. But then once you run the marathon, you're done and you can go eat and drink and do all the things again because there is a defined finish point for your thing. So for me, dry January, and then I'm going to live it up in February, which is my birthday month. So everybody in the chat, send me all the things.
Shameless plug. We're skipping January of 2021 already and going straight to Stats' birthday month.
Well,
I'm just saying, like, you're still the same person that you were before. Like,
and I'll never say that I'm not.
You are still the same person. December 31st, when you have the last sip of the alcoholic beverage that you have, you are still that same person. You're just making changes for the better. Don't say new year, new me. No, you're picking. Don't just pick January as the date to be better. It could be a Tuesday. It could be a Wednesday. It's like I used to do the same thing. Like I'm going to go on a diet Monday. Why not the next day? Why are you waiting for this random arbitrary day? Just do it the next day. Don't put it out in the future like I'm going to be better in 4 days. I'm going to be better in 2021. Just start tomorrow and start to do better things tomorrow.
That's why I'm comfortable with this type of goal because it gives me a start date and a finish date, and then I will assess where I am, see if I have made any other improvements along the line, eating better, sleeping more, taking better care of my mental and physical health, things like that. And then we'll see what happens in February. So,
I mean, Jeff, you're absolutely right. It gives people a chance to change. Some people need a starting point. What I'm saying is don't make the starting point January 1st. Make the starting point tomorrow, the next day. It's like, and give yourself the ability to actually get that goal. Like I would love to lose 100 pounds. I probably should start with 1 and then 10. 1 or 5, you know what I mean? Like I'm going to lose 100 pounds. Like that is a really big number. And weight is one of those things that just doesn't melt off of you fast. Like it takes time rather than saying, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. Say, I'm going to lose weight at the healthiest way I should. We're all different in terms of that. So like, I know that I could lose weight much faster than Stats can. I have a lot more to lose. That's just the truth. Like, so I know that I'm going to shed the weight faster because I have more weight to be shed. There is a lot of winter coat under this. I have prepared for all of the winters that have been coming. Unfortunately, last year was a very mild winter, but I fully prepared like it was going to be a blizzard.
But we also didn't know if we were ever going to be able to leave our houses again. So you had to put on that extra blubber to sustain yourself through 2020.
The camera adds at least 100 pounds.
Yes,
I read that from a documentary. That documentary was Tommy Boy.
These bags under my eyes. That's what the camera adds for me.
Hello, Sharky. Hello. The camera adds at least 100 pounds. That's why I look the way they do. Tommy Boy, the documentary Tommy Boy told me that. It was a story. It was a very successful story from an auto parts manufacturer, Callahan's. It was a comeback story.
Best brake pads on the planet.
That's best brake pads on the planet. Dan Aykroyd even bought those brake pads. Bought a ton of them.
I was going to hold it together.
I'm not going to hold it
However
together.
far you wanted to take that. Far you wanted to take that, I was going to hold it together.
All right, new year, new me. I'm still going to talk about it. Look, West Coast folks, you know I have nothing but love for you. West Coast is the best coast. There's no doubt about that. I do love the West Coast. I'm a Midwest kid at heart. There's a West in there. So West has a very special place in my heart. You are dead wrong when you say that InNOut is better than any other food place when it comes to burgers. The answer is Five Guys. And it's not up for debate. It's just not. Don't come at me with Shake Shack. Don't come at me with anything else. Five Guys is unbelievably the place to go get a burger.
You're not going to get any disagreement here. I mean, there are specialty places, singular one restaurant places that I love their burgers. Mm-hmm. Most of them are in Memphis. I can think of 3 right off the top of my head.
Yeah, okay.
One where we almost died, but
that place. Okay, what's that place? The place that only the Alex's Tavern or something like that. The place that only takes cash, has paper plates, and was sketchy. Good burger. Yes. Good burger. Super sketch.
Great burger. Yes.
Not. I mean, I would. It's right on there with Wendy's.
Yeah, but for a nationwide chain, and I think that's the other thing that really hurts InNOut and Shake Shack is they have glued themselves to their respective coasts so much, with the exception of they are in some airports around the country.
Five Guys has it. Five Guys is everywhere.
Well, no. I'm saying the other side. If InNOut and Shake Shack really want to make an argument that theirs are better than Five Guys, put it all over the country and let the people make the decision.
Oh yeah.
But the simple fact that both of them have resisted coming out of their enclaves and pushing towards the middle of the country where people really know how to eat, Five Guys is going to win because you can get it anywhere.
Come out from the ivory towers of the coasts and come to the Midwest where everyone's fat and they know how to eat. That's what you just said, sir. You said everybody that's not on the East or the West Coast, huge individuals, huge humans. I got to go to the comments because there's a ton of great comments out here. Dreadzilla, yes, I know. Hey, I know that guy. I did like one of your videos, Instagram photos recently. Miss Sheila, as always, you're correct. Five Guys. Five Guys is the bomb in Miami. Five Guys out there just repping. Five Guys knows that, folks, it is. They raised the prices too much over the past couple years. Five Guys has definitely raised the prices. I mean, for a drink, a burger, so a regular burger, which is a double burger, and fries, it was like $17. Like, it's not cheap. It is not cheap.
But you're also very full at the end of that meal.
Very full. That's what's up right here. White Castle sliders for life. Look, I will put down a Crave case and will not bat an eye. The back end of me might bat a little bit, but I will enjoy that Crave case when it's going down. InNOut is an overrated good burger. Oh, Mac, my man. Overrated good burger, and I'm from and live in California. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He knows what's up. Where else are you going to get a bag of French fries? That's right. Five Guys gives you want a large? Here's a large, and then here's an extra scoop. An extra scoop of fries. You literally have enough fries to feed 3 small children or 2 adults. You want to know how I know that? Because I've done that.
Yes. You and I get Five Guys more often than we eat anywhere else, with the possible exception of Jimmy John's.
I have not had Jimmy John's in a long time. I've had probably Five Guys way more than Jimmy John's, which also explains my winter coat. What you guys don't see is this is a fairly large King's robe. Smash burger. Sir.
I mean, they're good burgers, but
that's not, I would, you know what?
Same.
I'm taking Wendy's before I take Smash Burger. You give me a double stack, no onion. Double stack, no onion. Look, we're from Columbus.
It's the availability.
So right. So we're from Columbus. So Wendy's is this is where it came from. The first Wendy's is in downtown Columbus. Like that's, yeah. Yeah. Miss Sheila, I've asked them to not put in the extra fries. Didn't work. Still got the extra fries. Jeff is right though. Like Five Guys fries are definitely not the best fries. They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good. They're not the best.
Well, especially when you used to be able to sit down and eat in the restaurant and just smash them as soon as they came out of the fryer and they were smoking hot.
Yeah.
But I mean, almost any French fry is going to suck by the time you get it home.
Yeah. Also, can people stop ruining French fries by putting vinegar on them? Stop it.
I'm going to argue with you there.
You look. Yeah. Mac, I got to agree with you. The Royal Red Robin. The Royal Red Robin is awesome. Love it. Also, I don't remember the name of the burger that has the onion ring on it for Red Robin, but unbelievably great. Man, why are we friends, Jeff? I swear to God. Why are we friends? Smash Burger is good. Way too salty unless you want the burger without the salt. Like I'm taking Wendy's before I'm taking Smash Burger. My 3 all-time favorite, I'm doing Five Guys as first. Straight up Five Guys. No. Cobra, come on, man. Don't put vinegar on the fries. Just eat the fries. A little salt, a little ketchup. Gravy fries. What is that?
It's French fries with gravy.
Are you from Canada? That's where they came from, right? Gravy?
Well, Canada.
French fries and gravy?
Canada.
They like poutine.
Canada is poutine and gravy. So, cheese curds, basically.
Gross. Oh my God. Did you see that? What's that burger? Not a burger. I guess it's a sandwich that the people in Wisconsin eat. It's like tartare, the raw meat. So I asked my dad about this. It was like,
nope, I'm good.
Oh my God. It's ground beef that they put on sourdough, toasted sourdough, raw ground beef, ground up, put a thin layer on like a peanut butter sandwich, and then they eat it.
Nope.
No. Absolutely not. No. You gotta be kidding me. What are you doing? And that's like a staple up there on Christmas. Raw hamburger meat.
I have eaten beef tartare before, but that is basically
I can't do that.
Thinly sliced raw steak. I will not eat anything raw that is ground. That is foul.
Look, I love sushi. That's raw. Like I get it. Sushi, raw fish. Cannot get down with raw ground beef. No.
Nope.
What? No.
Beef, chicken, pork. Nope. Not if it's been ground through a machine.
Thank you. Do better, Wisconsin. That is awful. Awful. What are you? Oh no, baby. What is you doing? No. And they're like, that's the best thing ever. I can't wait to eat that for Christmas. Get out. You have lost your mind. Get out. Like that is. All right. So we've talked about how Five Guys is superior. Wisconsin has to figure out what they're doing. You don't just begging for food poisoning with raw ground beef. What are you doing? Oh, did you? Speaking of Wisconsin, look, I love football. We know that we love football. Go Bucks. No question. Did you see what the Wisconsin players did when they won their bowl game today? Did you see what happened?
No.
They were all dancing. They had the trophy in their hand. They were doing the hey, hey.
Oh, was this your mayo spaghetti bowl?
No. In the bowl, like the bowl games. Okay? So the Wisconsin players are dancing because they had just won their bowl game. I don't know who they played. They had the trophy. They were dancing in the locker room. Trophy falls, shatters everywhere.
Oh my God.
Shatters all over the floor. Hilarious. And like,
it was one of those fake trophies that they give.
oh no,
to
that
the
was
players
definitely the real.
with.
No, that was definitely the real trophy because all the players are like, hey, right? And then as soon as it hits the floor, shatters everywhere. The room goes silent. The whole locker room goes completely silent. It was the most hilarious thing to witness. Whew. All right, we got about 2 minutes left in the show, which is actually we're going to go over a little bit. Stats, I want a prediction. Tell me a tech prediction that you have. Tell me a prediction you think will happen, and then give me one that you would love for it to happen that might be a little far-fetched.
Oh boy. Well, one that I think / hope will happen is we get some movement towards making the internet a public utility and then giving us more control and potentially the ability to be paid for our data. That's what I would love to happen.
Would you give all of your data? Okay. Okay. All right. Hang on. I'm going to get this to different levels. You have your PI data. So height, weight, your PHI, things of that nature, how much money you make, blah, blah, blah. That's one tier. You get that, you give that out to companies, you're going to get $25 from companies that use that data specifically about you. Or the second level, so second tier, they get all of that data plus potential GPS of your phones, where you've been, some more information around like that. Level 2, that gets you $32. Or
are we talking yearly, monthly, weekly? What are we
probably
talking
yearly?
$32 per year. Okay.
I doubt it's a month. Okay. A month. I'll give it to you a month. A quarter. Let's go a quarter. Or the full gamut, $50 a month. Gives you $50 a month. They get all of that information, including your browsing history. Everything.
All right.
They get they get all the things.
Two things are going to happen. One, I will absolutely take that deal, $50 a month, because I already give all that data to Google anyway, and I'm not getting paid for it.
Bingo.
And number two, the other thing that'll happen, every single device I have will
be burnt.
Be just absolutely bloated with incognito tabs.
Incognito doesn't work, man. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. You need a strong VPN, sir.
That too.
Strong VPN. Strong. I like that. Being paid for your data. That's going to be really tough to figure out, like how much data, like what is the data worth? And the answer is going to really be dependent upon each company. For Google, it's going to give them a lot of opportunity. You're 100% right. They've got all of your information anyway. Your ISP, regardless of incognito or not, your ISP already has all that information. You might as well be getting paid for it, like maybe some type of monthly bill stipend. I don't know. But we're kind of at a crossroads when it comes to the data privacy aspect of things, is how much should you be paid for that? No one's really broached that subject yet. Don't know how much you should be paid for the data. I mean, it could be pennies. It could be a lot. Who knows? Definitely VPN. Might I interest you in WeVPN? I will let you know. That is, definitely we'll talk about the VPNs when the time comes to do that. For me, I am really interested in seeing how far along computational photography and computational videography is going to continue to grow. It's not a hardware game. I've said it before here on this show. It's not a hardware game anymore. This is a software game. how much more are we going to go in computational photography and videography that makes it easier for folks to be content creators or be the photographer that they want. I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about the potential of here's what I would like to see. I would like to see battery technology evolve. I desperately want to see battery technology evolve, not only for our personal devices, laptops and iPads and you name it, cameras or whatever, but also for homes. I would like to see getting things like solar energy, power wall like a Tesla, much more cost effective for folks like us in Ohio. Look, it's just not cost effective for us to have solar energy in Ohio. Mostly because we don't get the sun. We just don't get the sun
I saw
at
the
all.
sun for about 12 seconds today. So
yeah. And so the idea is like, I would love to have something like a power wall that I could know that would give me days worth of energy, but doesn't take days worth of lack of sun in Ohio to get. Powerwall is just not going to do that for me. I'd like to see more efficient, faster batteries, longer lasting batteries. Longer lasting, not only meaning from the life of the battery, but also from 0 to 100% or 100% to 0.
Yeah,
I'd love to see
individual charge and then the totality.
Yes, I would love to see battery technology evolve. For sure. So,
well, speaking of one last thing to round out the show, you mentioned getting multiple or higher power and things like that. So Dunkin' Donuts has revealed that in 2020, they are going to roll out with your new favorite drink. It's going to be called Extra Charged Coffee. And it's not that they're going to charge you more for it, but it's going to taste the same. It's going to look the same. It's going to fit in the same size cup, but twice the caffeine.
Oh my, you had me at hello, Duncan. You had me at hello. True fact, when I do have hot coffee in my home, I have Dunkin' Donuts. I love Dunkin'. When I go to a Dunkin' Donuts, it's great coffee. I like it better than Starbucks, less bitter for sure.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Very good coffee. I do make my own cold brew now, and Stats can attest to this. It is much more rocket fuel. It is a very good concentrate, probably now going to be headed towards a Dunkin' to see how well this gives me energy compared to my cold brew that I make. Josh Smith, actually a great friend of mine, he yelled at me earlier today and said, your cold brew needs to come with labels. And I said, why? And he said, it's mostly because I drank it and stayed up basically all night. I said, what time did you drink it? And he said, 4:00. I go, oh, no.
No. That's a before noon.
And that's why I told him, I was like, you don't want to drink that anywhere past noon. That's a definitely before lunchtime coffee. Otherwise, you will literally be up most of the night because I make it hot with the caffeine. Yep. Hot. It's good, but it runs very rocky.
I actually just finished my bottle today, so I need a refill at some point. Please, thank you.
I have a refill in the fridge right now. If you do me a favor, stop and get me another pound of Buckeye. I'll pay this time. Look, I'll provide you all the cold brew you want. I don't mind brewing it. It's really easy. I enjoy making it. I got a milk frother for Christmas. I'm trying to get all these fancy drinks, man. I got to get an espresso maker though.
Well, there might be a package from Stahl showing up on your doorstep sometime after the first of the year. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, love it. The Christmas gift that I got you. I hope you enjoy that. You got the email, right?
Yes.
You're freaking better. I appreciate you being that surrogate.
Yeah, because we did talk about it, and that's why I was struggling. I was like, wait a minute, did I get something else?
So I got him. I got him a gift card where I emailed him.
I think they're funny, but they're really not.
I got him a gift card that emailed to him. He had no idea it was coming, so I put a message in the gift card that had absolutely nothing to do at all with the gift. It had nothing at all to do with anything that he would even be capable of doing. I just wanted him to read it. So that was literally kind of the gist. And I got a message from him like, hey, wait a minute. Why did you do this? Like, and also I can't do that. Anyway, thanks for that. So, well, Stats, let's wrap this up. Brother, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for a successful 2020. We're going to do this again. 2021.
I love you too, brother. It's been a great ride.
It's been a great ride. We're going to keep going. Thank you all so much for joining us on the year-end show. Tech King Mike has a show on Saturday. I will be a judge there. Yeah, it was a wild ride. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Miss Sheila. Thank you all for coming. We're going to do this again next Wednesday because that's what we always do. Same bat time, same bat channel. And everybody, be safe out there. Spay and neuter your pets. Is it neuter and spay? Spay and neuter? Remember to spay and neuter your pets. Something like that. That's what Bob Barker always used to say. All right, y'all. We'll see you. Catch you on the flip side. See you in 2021. This is the one you wanted us to play it out? That was one I...
Yes.
This was the other one. Here we go.
Okay.
2021. Welcome. 2021. Welcome. Hey.
You should have your hood up and some of your ginormous headphones.
Happy New Year, Dreadzilla. Miss Sheila, thank you so much. You made my life better in 2020 as well. Happy freaking New Year, y'all. Be good or be good at it. We'll catch you next time.